Welcome back. How y'all doing? You know what we talking about? We talking about the brackets and the selection. Okay, the selection committee, NCAA. It seems like, as I've already told you, what's going on with the administrative part of football, far as selection people selecting, based off of monopolizing. Look, all this means is that ESPN is now entering into the tournament and pretty much dismantling the NCAA. And whenever they do that extension, or should I say adding more slots for more teams, that will be the sign that you know that ESPN is coming to take over the basketball side of things as well. This is the beginning steps. And how do we know that? Look at what's going on. ESPN got 14 teams in the NCAA tournament, period. 14 teams. And the proclaimed better conference in basketball is the Big 12. They only got 7 when they should have got 8, which is equivalent to the Big 10. But just to make matters worse, the selection chair, NCAA chair, put North Carolina in there just because of the controversy of them potentially going to the SEC. And, of course, they're not good in football. How would that help their chances of going to the SEC if they're also not doing well in basketball, even though it's a brand? So it's more of like a brand selection. So that's why North Carolina got in, not based off of merit or talent, based off of brand recognition, period. And that's what they're saying to the viewers, that your brand alone can get you in a sense of, if we know that North Carolina is a well-known or known for basketball, then that should be good enough to get them in and hope their chances. The problem is, you're taking away from the qualified team to get in for that slot, which creates fighting between the ACC and the Big 12. You got to see what ESPN and the SEC is doing. Okay, easily one of those SEC teams could have not made it, Texas or Oklahoma. Okay, but no, that didn't happen. So yeah, they snubbed a Big 12 team, West Virginia, which is going to be noted, it's going to be documented, and it's going to be looked at. A lot of people talked about how Florida State and Clemson took the name for the hit for, suing the conference, so on and so forth. Well, North Carolina takes the hit for doing this desperate attempt to get in the NCAA tournament right here. This is going to be a stain to their brand in that sense, because it won't sit well moving forward. We know that they have the potential of cheating, which we didn't know them for that at first. So that's what we're looking at with that. Now, far as overall, the perception, once again, the SEC only had about 4 to 5 really good brands, but for some reason, ESPN made it to where most of their schools going in, they're trying to make a statement moving forward. Think about that. That's about their whole conference. The SEC only got 16 teams, and 14 got in. Tell me that there ain't biases and monopolizing. Yes, that's what's going on. If you guys didn't see it in football, you're seeing it now. But let the SEC be known for basketball, because I think football has changed so much. I'm not seeing SEC winning a national title no time soon. Sorry, with the playoffs the way it is, that's why they want that auto bid, that 4 automatic auto bid. And see, here's the other thing. We're talking about the structure. We know that the SEC commissioner is paid to do what's best for their conference, his conference. We know the Big Ten commissioner is paid to do best for their conference, but that's not the problem. What I was communicating is the fact that they're trying to tell other conferences what they can and can't do, or other conferences how many teams they can and get. They went beyond just doing good for their conference. They actually are now dictating what other conferences can and can't do. And that's when you start ruining the sport. That's when it becomes problems. And so, yes, I do believe, listen, why, if there's all these extra slots, if we're going to 16, right, and 4 and 4 makes 8, there's 8 more slots out there. Why are you telling another conference that they only can get 2 when there's 8 available? You already got yours. So that's the point I was making. And with that being said, I'm not feeling any of it, actually. I'm not feeling no one conference acting like the commissioner of the whole entire sport when that's not their job description. Petitti's, Sankey, really, that's not that is not in his job description to dictate how the sport should be operated. That's not what he's paid to do. So I'm like, how are we letting him, or not letting, how are we entertaining these comments or these suggestions? Because that's what they are. These are suggestions. You don't entertain it. You get what you want, we get what we want, and that's good business. If not, it's not good business. So, and not to mention, look what's happening in basketball. That's exactly the exact same thing that's going on in basketball, or about to start. I mean, what you mean? Well, every year they're going to get 14 teams, and then, the Big 12 going to get 4, like the ACC. Come on now. It's called ESPN is monopolizing college football and basketball. And if you don't get a hold of it now, they're going to make the sport minimalist. It's going to become a minimalist sport on both ends. And they already have an idea of how they believe that certain brands is going to generate revenue. And what's going to end up happening is a lot of people are going to turn away. And ESPN will be okay with that because, they're looking at it as, we changed. Even if they don't make their money back, the whole principle about it is, we changed it, or we did what we wanted to do. We're paying to do what we want to do with the sport. And however we leave it, that helps us stay in control of it. So that's what's going on. Like I said, it's going to need, and when I said an NFL personnel needs to come in, what I mean is NFL business personnel need to lecture and be in the rooms helping the structure of the new wave of college football. In that sense, they need to be a part of these panels to make everything, whole. Also, if there was a super league, what teams would make it? Would it be 60 teams or would it be 50? And if so, why wouldn't it be covering a certain amount of programs to represent each region of the country? That would only make sense. But once again, to be honest with you, I don't even watch the NBA no more. I don't watch the NBA. So therefore, that should tell you, I used to love watching the NBA. I ain't watched the NBA in years, probably almost a decade. I used to watch it throughout the season, and then I end up, would say, I don't want to watch it then. I would just only wait for the playoffs. Now I don't watch it at all. I could care less about who's the champion of the NBA. I don't watch it no more. So it just don't seem the same way. But when NBC had the NBA, I was watching it a lot. So that just tells you right there, ESPN got a way of destroying sports for some reason. And they're on their way of doing that in football right now. I mean, basketball. This is a sign right now. 14 teams. You got 95%, 95 to 98% of a conference in the tournament. And then there was other teams left out. Where did you take these slots from? Think about this. They took them from the ACC, and they took them from the Big 12. One from the Big 12. They took one slot from the Big 12, and then they took the rest from the ACC, 4 from the ACC. So technically, the SEC got 5 more slots than what they should have gotten. That's what we're trying to say here. Period. They should have got about 10 or 11 teams in. What did they get? 16. 14. They should have got about 9, or should I say 9 to 10. They got more than that. So that's the issue. So that's what's going on in sports. Pay attention, because it's going to be an interesting bracket. And yes, I got the University of Houston. At least we want them to make it to the title game and finally put one on the board. It's very important moving forward, because that's just how things are going. But once again, thank y'all for watching. Till next time. And if you like this video, you can check out the video right there on the sides, front, top, and bottom. Till next time, have a great day.